Hey everybody, and welcome back to day 25. My name's Damien. This is my blog on going from being unemployed, overweight, and broke to being in a place of financial stability, good cash flow, or a job, and being in shape. I'm providing you every day with a tip, some suggestions, as well as books that I recommend to read to help you along as I'm helping myself along through this process to get out of this hole and to get out of this detrimental spot that I found myself in at this point in my life. So just take hope. You're not alone. I'm getting feedback from people. A lot of people are going through this right now, and I hope that you find the information that I share with you useful on this blog. What I want to talk about today on day 25 is I want to talk about confidence. And when I say confidence, many of you probably think of like arrogance, haughty arrogance, like people that are overly confident, and that's not what I'm talking about. I was doing some research about the subject of confidence, and I found a quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and Ralph Waldo Emerson said that self-trust is the first secret of success. Again, self-trust is the first secret of success. And I thought that was the best definition I could think of or ever find. Well, I didn't think of it, but that I could find when I was thinking about how to define confidence. It's self-trust. That's all it is. The more confidence you have, the more self-trust you have in your abilities and who you are as a person and in your skills and all of that. So I want to talk about confidence. It's important that as you're going through this process and in struggling to find a job and to go out after interview or resume after resume, application after application, and not hear back and get turned down, it's easy to lose hope. It really is. And you have to have confidence in yourself. You have to believe that things are going to work out because they're going to work out. When I talk about confidence, though, as I had mentioned, I'm not talking about arrogance. There's kind of a sliding scale, and I just want to share this with you real quick here, of confidence going from one extreme, which is arrogance that I had mentioned, to the other extreme of lack of confidence, which is anxiety. And it seems like a lot of people kind of live off in the edges of the confidence spectrum, and they're either overly confident when they shouldn't be and are very arrogant, or they're extremely underconfident and they come across as very insecure, very anxiety ridden, and that is also a detriment. So I want to encourage you to think of where you're at and what kind of confidence you have, and to try to work yourself into the middle level of just having trust in yourself and being confident that you can do what you say you want to do. Confidence is not about looks. First and foremost, I want to make sure that everybody understands that there's a lot of people out there that may not be judged by mainstream industries as being good looking, but they're very successful. And I hate to bring somebody up specifically, but I want to give you an example of what I mean. Steve Buscemi, you guys probably know the actor Steve Buscemi. And Steve is by far one of my favorite actors. And Steve, I apologize for using you as the example here. He's just an amazing actor. His movies to me are fascinating. Probably one of the best actors that I've ever watched in movies. And Steve has went on to win. He's won the Golden Globe. He's won 23 additional awards, and he's been nominated for a total of 36 in addition to that. So there's no refuting the fact that Steve is an amazing actor, that he's got the chops and the skills to do a great job as an actor. But if you put him up on a list and say on a scale of 1 to 10 how good looking Steve is, he might not score very high. But I don't think that bothers Steve. I'm sure he's got great confidence. So it's not about looks. It's also not about age at all. If you feel like, well, I'm watching this, I'm over the hill, I'm all washed up, I don't have anything to offer in life anymore, that kind of philosophy. Think about Dr. Ruth. Everyone knows Dr. Ruth, or at least, a lot of people have heard of her. Dr. Ruth is an expert on human sexual physiology and has talked a lot about that in TV shows and on web blogs and things like that. Well, Dr. Ruth is 85 years old. And that lady is still rocking it out on the subject that she talks about, a subject that many people are uncomfortable with. But she's 85 years old, and I just think that that's amazing. So it's not about age. It's also not about what you were or what you did before. Some of you may say, I was in a great position, I was at high level, I was very responsible in my organization, I was the go-to person, everybody in the office knew that I knew what I was doing, and and you think, okay, again, I'm done, I'm washed up, and you're focusing too much on the past, on what you've done, and think that you have nothing left to offer. That's not true. Think about Jimmy Carter, President Carter. Now, with politics aside, regardless of what your political belief is, I think we can all agree that post-presidency, Jimmy Carter has done an amazing job, has created some amazing endeavors and done some amazing things to better humankind and to better people's lives. He was very active in creating the Carter Presidential Center at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia, and that the Emory Center deals with human rights issues and democracy all across the world, making sure that people are being treated fairly in countries where they may not be. In addition to that, as you may know, he's extremely active with Habitat for Humanity, has been for many, many years, and just the sheer number of people that he has helped put into affordable housing and affordable homes and help them step up a scale in the quality of life is just truly remarkable. And he could have just said, you know what, I was president, I'm done, I don't have anything else to offer, and he actually had more to offer post-presidency. So I don't want you to get caught up in that trap either. Confidence is not about your wealth or social standing. And I think that this is extremely important. You know, I've had people tell me through the comments section on these blogs that they think I'm brave for sharing the fact that I'm broke, and for sharing the fact that I lost my job, for sharing the fact that I'm overweight. There's really no bravery about it. I appreciate your comments, but there's no bravery about it. It is what it is. But that doesn't define who I am, and I know I'm going to do better. I know I'm going to be better. Some other examples of people that have fallen at some point in life, you know, Oscar winner Halle Berry. You've probably heard that Halle Berry was homeless. She stayed in a homeless shelter in her early 20s. Jim Carrey, the funny actor, Jim and comedian, Jim has once lived out of a VW camper van and a tent in his sister's yard because he had nowhere to stay when he was getting started in the acting industry. The co-founder of Canada's largest specialty coffee chain or coffee shop was homeless. The largest chain in Canada was homeless because of a drinking problem in his 20s. And now he's one of the most successful entrepreneurs and businessmen in Canada. The personal finance guru, Susie Orman, you probably have read her books or know about her, is now worth approximately $25 million, but she lived out of her van for 4 months in 1975 while she was trying to find a waitressing job. I mean, that's just amazing. Who would think now, with the people she brushes up with, the shoulders she rubs against, that she feels better than anybody else? She doesn't. She knows where she came from. But that's just an example about confidence not being about your origins. In addition, the singer Jewel, after she was fired, she lived she was homeless, and she almost died in a parking lot from an attack. Daniel Craig, the new James Bond, many of you have probably seen the new James Bond movies. Daniel Craig used to live on park benches in London because he didn't have anywhere to go. He was homeless. So the point being is having confidence is not about your origins, about your wealth, or about your social standing at all. It's not about any of that stuff. It's about how you feel and the respect that you have for yourself internally and externally for who you are as a person. That's what confidence is. So I want to encourage you to have confidence as you go forward here in this situation, in this journey that we're both in, and be who you are. Be proud of, have self-trust in your abilities, and know that you're doing the right things. And a book that I want to recommend is The Art of Achievement here by Tom Morris. I have read this book probably 15 times since I bought it. It's been out for a little while. But The Art of Achievement by Tom Morris is a great book. And it's especially great in its sections about confidence. And I have to give Tom credit for that chart. That chart that I showed you earlier about arrogance and anxiety was from his book, The Art of Achievement. So it's an excellent book. Check it out. You may have to go on Amazon to find it. I'm not sure if it's still in stores. But anyways, with that, day 25, buck up, stand up, have some confidence, be proud of yourself, and check back again tomorrow on day 26.